Chosen one, chosen one, chosen one. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your friend, tell your cousin. We are back, y'all, with another one.
Yeah, baby.
So let's get straight into the video because I don't want to hold you no longer than I have to. Listen, y'all, let's talk about the changes that we go through. Let's talk about the changes in the life cycles that we go through. I just want to drop this in your spirit and y'all take it and just let it resonate with you. Let it marinate for a few days and let God do what he do with this message. There are cycles that we go through in life, y'all. See, we see that beginning date and we see that expiration date. But some kind of way we miss that hyphen in the middle. Some kind of way we miss that middle part. And that's what you are living out right now. That's what's important right now. The cycles that we go through, y'all, there's 4 cycles to life. There's 2 halves of it, but there's 4 cycles to life. See, as a chosen one, you were already chosen before you were formed in your mother's womb. God created you in his image. He created you exactly how you are right now. He created you that way. So then he sent you on this earth. You were birthed. You were born here on this earth. But we were all born into darkness. We were all born into sin. And let me explain something to y'all about this darkness. When I say that, I'm not saying that we were evil. I'm not saying that we were malicious. I'm not saying any of that. When I speak of darkness, I'm talking about we were born and we didn't know who we were. We were blind to the truth. We entered in this earth in darkness, in sin. And so you entered into maybe a broken family. You entered into a trauma and drama. You may have been molested. You may have been abandoned and you ended up in foster care. You may have had people reject you. You were the black sheep. All these things you went through at that first cycle of life when you were born into darkness, born into sin. Oh, baby, but one day God hit that alarm clock and he flipped that light on and he said, time to get up. Time to wake up. It's time for you to know the truth. It's time for you to be exposed to the light. It's time for you to see the fakes and the snakes around you. It's time for you to know who I have truly created you to be. He hit that alarm, flipped that light switch on. That's when you step out of darkness into the marvelous light of Jesus. You were exposed to the light. Now you're headed into a new cycle of life. This is the moment where you are exposed to the light, but you are dying to yourself, which is the second phase of life. You were born into this earth. Now you're dying to yourself. You're dying to the flesh. You're dying to the ways of the world. You're dying to what you see fit for your life. You're dying to all the things that people spoke over you. You're dying to those generational curses. You're dying to the hurt, the trauma, and the drama that you've been through. You're dying to that. And this is the cycle right here that we struggle with. We give a push back to God because we don't know this. We don't know what this is. It looks like chaos to us. It looks like confusion to us. It looks like torment. It looks like punishment. But really, you are just dying to yourself. You are dying to that old person. That's the second phase of life. Even though you've been exposed to the light, you are still dying to yourself. That's the second phase, the second cycle of life. And so the moment you let God do what he do, when he starts stripping all that stuff off of you, when he puts you down in that pit is what it feels like, and he starts stripping this stuff off of you, and he starts letting you know what you really are not, that you've known all this time is really not the truth. He stripped you down naked, baby, to finally you get to a point to where say, God, you have your way. You throw up your hands and you surrender and say, God, let it be thy will. The moment you do that, you enter into a new phase. You enter into a rebirth. You enter into another birthing of life. That's the third cycle of life. You entered into this earth in darkness. Then you had to die to that flesh. Now you are in a rebirthing season. You are a born again creature. You are a new creature in Christ. You have not only been exposed to the light, but you are the light. You are the light. That's when that spirit starts working in you. You've always had the Spirit with you. That's why you've always experienced the drama, the trauma, the rejection, the mockery. You've always experienced that because God has always been with you. He's been keeping you. He has had that lamp on your pathway the whole time. Even though you were in darkness, He still had that lamp on your feet, showing you which way to go. But now you see the light. Now you are the light. This is the third cycle of life. Y'all hear people say you're talking about going from glory to glory to glory. That's what that means. You go from one stage to another stage to another stage. You're ascending. The more you ascend, the more you become more like Christ. The more you become more like the image that He has created you to be. That's what He's talking about when He says, I created you in my image. He's not talking about how you physically look on the outside. He's talking about His characteristics. He's talking about His patience, His kindness, His love, the fruits that He bears. He created you in His image. So now you're in that third cycle of life where you have given it all to God and you say, Lord, have your way. That's that season of becoming. That's that season when He starts showing you who you truly are. He starts giving you your assignment. He starts taking that pain and using it for purpose. You start becoming a new creature. This kind of where the sweet spot starts happening. And some of us, we struggle getting there because we're fighting with that stuff in the past. But once you hit this cycle right here, is it always going to be easy, or is it, going to be peaches and cream? No. But when you take on the Father's yoke, when you stand up and you realize who you are, God gives you peace. He gives you wisdom. He gives you understanding. He gives you clarity. So even if your environment has not changed, He has literally changed you from the inside. And so you are able to function around with these other things that are happening outside of you, these dark entities, these people, these snakes in these fakes. You start realizing that I do have a purpose. You start realizing that I don't have to settle. You start realizing that it is through God that I can do all things, that it is possible through Him. He shows you your assignment. He gives you peace. He gives you rest in Him. That's that third cycle of life. You are a born again creature. It's all spiritual, y'all. These are the cycles that we go through. So now you're in that third cycle and you kind of got a groove going on. You know now God gonna provide for you. Even if you don't see it, you know He gonna do it. You know who people are before they can even come in your presence with the foolishness. You can peep the fakery. You can peep that they're no good for you because of what He taught you back there, because of what you experienced back there, because of what you learned back there. So now you walking heavy, baby. You got your head up. You got your shoulders back and you're speaking with authority. You're moving on this earth with dominion and power, and nobody can stop you. No demon in hell can stop you. So baby, you ride this wave right here. This is the wave. This is the trailblazing season where God is showing you who you are. That's that third cycle of life. So baby, you work that, and you work that until you get to your final destination. Until you get to your final glory. When you return back home, baby. When you return back home. And see, everything that you do in between that first date and that last date, whatever you do in between determines your final destination. Your final cycle of life. Where you return back to the Father. You return back to the Creator. You have gone through the changes of life. You have allowed God to do what He needs to do in you and through you. He sent you on this earth for a purpose, for a reason, for an assignment. And when you surrender to that and let Him do what He gonna do, all of that stuff in between, baby, your final destination. That's the ultimate prize. That's the ultimate reward. Just because you are in a different season than somebody else don't mean that you are wrong. Don't mean that you are slowful. Don't mean that God has forgotten you. We are all in different cycles, different seasons. Every word won't resonate with you for the season that you're particularly in. Tuck it away. Because one day you're going to have to revisit that message. One day you're going to end up in that season. Some of you have just flipped on that light. Some of you are coming out of that darkness, and God is stripping you down, tearing all that stuff off of you. Some of you are now in the rebirthing season, and you working it, baby. And none of us have reached our destination. That's why I don't care about nobody judging you, talking about a heaven and hell. You have not gone there yet, so you can't tell me where I'm going. Don't let nobody tell you where you're going. Work your faith. Walk out your faith for yourself. This is a season, baby. Whatever season you in, you work it. Whatever season you in, you surrender to the Spirit. Whatever season you in, you trust the process and you trust God. We go from glory to glory to glory, from level to level to level. We ascend every day, each cycle. Everybody won't understand you, and that's all right. That's all right, baby. Don't let them stop you. Just because they don't understand you, don't let it stop you. Continue to feed yourself with wisdom, with knowledge, encouraging words. Stay focused. Stay vigilant. God is doing something in you and through you. Just because you're not on the same level as somebody else don't mean that God has forsaken you. Don't mean that you're overlooked. Don't mean that you're behind time. That's not how that works. You have cycles and changes of life, and you got to let God work that thing in His timing. He know when you're ready for the next. He know when you can handle the next. He know when you can handle the blessing. He know when you have learned the lesson. Listen, baby, it's a beautiful thing. Transformation is a beautiful thing. If only we don't fight it. If only we don't fight it. It's beautiful. Just like you. So walk out your faith and don't let nobody stop you. I don't care what title they hold in your life, what they've told you, it's not the truth. Trust God. Trust the process. You're elevating, even if you don't see it. You are elevating daily. You are becoming a new creature daily. Even if the light switch just came on, you still not that person you used to be. You are exposed to the light now. There's cycles to life, y'all. Don't get confused by that first date and that end date. It's what you do in between. It's that dash that matters. Work that. Allow God to show you how to prosper here on this earth. We don't have to die and get everything in heaven. You can have it right here on earth. I love y'all so much. I really do. Until next time, y'all keep y'all head up and be easy. Peace.